It's next week, and I'm going to look into interactable items. Uh, so, a lot of this game is going to involve interacting with items either as something you can pick up or something you can use like in the level. So we're going to have to create an interaction system. I was thinking about data assets, but I'm not thinking about that right now. Not right now. I was thinking about things that can pick up versus things that interact. We're going to look at gas and interfaces and putting them together to create an interaction system that uses gas. We'll see. I don't think we'll get this far as actually getting an item, grabbed and all that. So I'm gonna put some enter box there. I think we're probably gonna get this far today. But let's think about what we're gonna do. Is Unreal Editor loaded yet? No. Alright, so let's suppose these things because they're not workable and ain't gonna use them. Okay. Controls versus interact components. So I had a thought we're going to have two kinds of things that you can have. You can pick up a thing and you can of course. You pick up a thing and you can interact with the thing. So picking up a thing and interacting with the very first pickup looks exactly like interacting with the thing. So I would say that picking up a thing and interacting with the thing share the same interface. Live. I don't have any illusion of grandeur, but people are watching this after. So I don't know what kind of people you guys are because I don't know how to use that button in YouTube Studio Creator. So I don't know where you are in your computer programming journey. However, I'll do a really quick rundown of what an interface is as far as like computer programming. We're not talking about like buttons in the UI here. We're talking about actual computer programming. And all it means is that you said that there's wait. This isn't a thing that we're doing. Hold on. Kind of yeah, that's second document. That's how deep we're going on this. That's the second document. And we're going higher than 200. That's how important this is. So interface says is a way for some piece of code to declare that I have this function. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it means that any class that has that interface can be used by another class that knows it has an interface. You don't need class inheritance. Give me a second. at my door at this time of day. Doesn't the rest of the world know? No, because nobody actually watched this in real time. All right, so interface says I have this function. There's no class inheritance. There's no limitation on what kind of class it is. Apart from the fact it's a class. If you have done computer science, they'll talk about things about OOP, object-oriented programming. I'm about to do like minor hot takes depending on who you talk to. In general, they talk about things like encapsulation, putting all the things about doing one thing in one spot, like a class. Talk about polymorphism, which is one thing can be another thing. So you can say a cat is an animal and so is a dog. And then you can do things to cats and dogs that you can do to any animal. There's inheritance, which is you can say a cat is inherited from an animal. So everything that a basic animal cat can do. And then that's the last one, encapsulation, polymorphism, let's go on. I was bugging because it's usually there's the main four, and I had to memorize them when I was in school. And I've forgotten it all, which sucks. Features. Nope. Data abstraction, that was it. Data abstraction and encapsulation together in one. Yes. Data abstraction. So abstraction is the one where it's like this. This is like everything that has to do with the dog is this thing. Encapsulation says that you'll have a bunch of code like prey drive, but you can't call prey drive. It's just, the dog does it on its own. So you shouldn't, on the outside of the class, you don't see any of that code. You just make it into that class and you look through all the things you can do on it. You can't go activate prey drive. The dog does it on its own, so that's encapsulation. And polymorphism is the whole concept that a cat and a dog are both animals, and then you can do things on dogs and cats that all animals can do, like pet them. And inheritance, you can take all this stuff from like the base class, like animal, and then you say, okay, everything that a cat animal has, a cat also has. There's this famous book that we look up called Patterns and Principles of Object-Oriented Programming. It's got 4 guys who wrote it. Programming Patterns. I had a copy around here, but I don't know where it is. Programming Patterns for Object-Oriented Programming. Got 4 guys who wrote it. It's the Gang of 4 book. I write in Gang of 4 book. That's what's going to come up. All unless I fumble my typing. I just design patterns. That's not the actual name. The actual name is design patterns. Elements of reusable object-oriented software. I remember this cover. I have this book. It's one of those nice books. It has like the little ribbon like sewn into the spine for a bookmark. It's So this is like the thing that tells you how to do object-oriented programming. The hot take is none of them have inheritance. Zero. They teach you inheritance is the most important thing, and none of it involves it. You can create inheritance-like features using encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, and another thing that actually Unreal Engine does a lot, which is composition, which is you take a thing, and I'm going to show you where Unreal Engine actually does it on its own. You have a class like your guest character. Instead of like inheriting a character that has all the walking and movement stuff in it, they add a character movement component into this. And they say, oh, by the way, this character has character movement. Of course, there's two ways you can do that. You can have it so that when you do, two ways you can handle dealing with character movement. If I go into that graph, you can say reference itself and go spell character. And I'll get all the. Can I do this one? Can I do this one? Is the thing I can do? Yeah, I can do that. You can do this. Okay, I'll get the character movement, and I'll do all the things on character movement. One way to do it. The other way to do it is you can also combine that with interfaces, which is the idea of I have this function. You say anything that has these functions well, is a thing. So like is a block. Actually, the better way to do it is flat bubble. So you can say there you have an interface called petal, and then you can say a dog is petable, as is a cat, as is a ferret. But so is a teddy bear. Well, you can't say a teddy bear is an animal because it's a teddy bear, right? You don't have to feed it, you don't have to walk it. It's a teddy bear, but you can still pet it. So we can take the ability to pet something as a function into an interface and apply that interface to whatever we want. And if we need any functionality that goes along, common functionality with that, either we can say, oh, all these are animals, or we can make like, you know, an animal component, right? And then we can write things that how an animal reacts when you pet it. How does this relate to? Whoops. How does this relate to us? Well, we want to make things I can interact with. And we talked about how interacting with something I can pick up similar to interacting with a thing in the world. So maybe both of these things are the same thing on that base level. So I can say that this is an interface called, oops, interactable. Usually, like, depending on what language you come from, it's usually something able, right? So we'll have interactable. And then, so when you go walking through the world with your character, if there's something on the ground you want to pick up or a door you want to open, it's the same action for both. And then for things I can pick up and drop, well, we change that to I can use and drop if they are in my hand. And so a fully idealized pick-upable is an object that is interactable and can be used and dropped when held. Again, like I said, depending on what language you use, you say bubbles. Other ones also use can do this, can do that. So we've got two interfaces we want to make. And then we can add this interface to whatever objects in Unreal Engine we want, implement what happens when you call that. So this will be like an empty interact. It's going to be an empty function that you add functionality to. And so it will be used, so will be drop. And for each item, you can say, okay, well, I used a gun, that means it's going to shoot. I interact with a gun that isn't in my hand, that means I'm going to pick it up. And those things will be on the gun object, but it will be the same function that gets called by the guest class when you go and do that as it is to go open the door. The guest character won't care what it is until you say, okay, I'm using this, and that thing will call back and start doing things with the guest. So we're going to say that we need two interfaces. We need an interactable interface and a usable interface and a droppable interface. The only reason, so this is a very like clean code Java way of doing it. I'm not gonna lie. But it does give you these wacky ideas. Right now, I have no use for separating them, but in the future, maybe I have a thing that has glue on it, and you can't drop it. It's stuck to you forever, so it wouldn't be droppable, which would be hilarious. And I've given me that ability by saying, all right, you can't drop it. So we'll make these three interfaces first, and then those interfaces will probably start doing stuff with gas. So like you can make this entire system without gas at all, just by doing these interfaces. The reason we want to add gameplay ability is that it has all the nice little replication. You can start your animations for that, so you can do something like call interact on this interactable, and then that will call back to the character and say, hey, try unlocking this door, right? And then it will try doing the action for unlocking the door. Or even you could say interacting is also a gameplay ability, but there's then you have a thing, well, like you can't interact with this because you're doing something else. That gameplay ability is logged by tags. So we get all that extra bonus for free if we do it that way. So let's close this. I think I did some stupid bullshit before that is bad. Let me go look. Yes. No. No. Yes. Why is that under ragdoll? Who knows? Nope. Not under. So I remember we started this thing before. I believe. No, we didn't. That's me being dumb. Before. Last thing we did last week was set up this stuff and use held item right hand, left hand, and then use held item right hand, left hand. I'm not going to touch that right now, but I will probably be touching that in a little bit. We'll do a small refactor. How do I know I need to do refactor? Because I started already, but it's not so much that you didn't miss anything. Don't worry about it. Let me open up the code. All I did was make interactable. It is interactable. The interface. No code here. And then in Unreal Engine, you get this kind of boilerplate, which gives you a empty class, but with the interface still filled in layer. And then you have this other class, which is kind of like your fake interface. So here I've got a function, callable blueprint event. I'll tell you what that is in a second. And it bool interact takes in a guess which hand you're using in the target. I'm going to actually change this to, oh no, as a character. That's fine. I'm going to keep it that way. Character and target. So if we hop back into here, I can actually do wacky shit like this. Let's. I don't even know what it'll be called. How about a new folder called stuff. I know that's a bad name. Just go along. I'm gonna add blueprint class actor. Not that one. Yes. What am I gonna call it? Knickknack. Once I remember. There it is. Blueprint called Knickknack. Doesn't do anything. It's gonna have back mesh. And that's going to be the root. No issues there. And then we're going to go over here. Implemented interface. If I go here, I should be able to go interactable. Look at that. Look at that. ladies and gentlemen. And now I can say what happens when we interact. Return true. I'm gonna print. Let's not go nuts, right? Print. Hello. Hello, I'm Nick and return true. Compile and save. So let's do a thing. So I'm gonna delete this because that's not what I want to do. This is where I'm going to do my refactor. Whoops. So before for my refactor, I was saying that left mouse button when pressed gets negated. So then there'll be -1 for left, +1 for right. I am going to say that this is going to be which there's one that was just like set as 1 or 2. That'll be useful. Nope. Clamp. Gate. And okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Left mouse button, we will whistle. Left mouse button, we won't do anything. Right mouse button will whistle, I believe. I'm going to save this and see if I'm not. The float that gets spit out. Why does it have 2? You see what I'm dealing with here? You see what I'm dealing with here? Okay. And IA hand gets me float because I gave it a float. Right? The left mouse button triggers pressed. Because IA hand is 1 axis. I think it's 2 axis. That's right. I'm fine with that. 2-axis. There we go. And then do I have a use? Use held item. It's also 2-axis. And then that's still bool. All right, so when we hop back over here, this is broken. And this is broken. I'm gonna like leave those alone. What I've done is I've said I've made it so x is, oops, we've got an x and a y, so x is gonna be save, x is gonna be that and swizzle, so y xz, I believe. Let's take a look. Let's just take a look. And then we are going to, not that. Just in case you didn't look, I typed in contact cat and brought up append. Thank you, Unreal Engine, for that. Could have been a dick about it. X up top, Y down below. And a nice thingy in the middle. Compile, works, run, post myself. So, server 1. Yeah, so you can see X is left, Y is right. I can smash both at the same time and get both. Great. So what we're going to do is we're going to, this condition doesn't do what we think it does. Well, it does make this more interesting. So I've got an X and a Y. And then our interface takes in an int. So let's vector2. Let's go send it the same thing. Unreal Engine. Vector 2. T vector 2, is that it? Is that the one I'm looking for? That doesn't help me, does it? Sometimes this whole system is coming up. Access to E vector 2D. Okay. Vector 2D. Blueprint. 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 Didn't do anything. right? Blueprint, no. Blueprint, no. C++. That's the problem. My interface is in C++. I need to know what vector 2D is. That probably is F vector 2D. Let's find out. Face. You think that's actually how it's spelled too? Let's go into can't argue with it. Seems to be it. I can include it, make sure it's the right one. Let's find out. Like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I take it out and put something else in there, right? Oh, it might be a struct. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, didn't like it. If I ever find where Unreal Engine is, yeah, it doesn't like that. All right, give me a second. Let's make sure we get the right thing. So it's saying that the API that's a struct, which means that struct must exist. I'm just get all the Blueprint API, right? I don't want Blueprint. Okay, can I filter out Blueprint? Functions, nums, constants, class hierarchy, runtime. Telemetry, stream. Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? 2D struct, Unreal Engine, C++. It's probably this, to be honest. It's just that this is probably supposed to be capital. I'll start compiling. If that's not right, might not be right. Who knows? Don't like it. Same problem. it not in here? Or does it need it? Is it even more? It might be that. It's complaining less. Complete. All right, if I hop into here, and then last thing, we have to um there's a place where I can make it refresh this, but I forget where it is. Maybe I just need to close this and like force it to realize what's happening. There we go. Hey, that's the right one. Great. Okay. So then file in here where we have the hand, we get this, but we delete all this and combine, we get the action value, which is vector 2D, which means that whatever we're pointing at, if it has if it's interactable, we could feed in ourselves, the hand, this value here, and the target, which is going to be itself, and it should do something. So let's set that up. We'll do it super like easy peasy. We'll do a. If this won't stay, don't worry about it. Okay. No. Let's do a. Objects. There should be, maybe we have a here. Let's be super basic about this. Let's be super basic. it so fast. There we go. Wait, can I just pick light? Right. There we go. All right. So this is me being super ass basic. We will grab that. We will be upset that this doesn't do anything. Sure. That's weird. I don't know how that works. Hold on. Scale, unlock. I need that 4, 3, 2.5. And then we'll just drag it a little bit over to here. And then right. Rename this to Rabby. How's that for ghetto? Um, I think that's too ghetto, actually. Is it? Okay. I'm just going to copy the values from here. Radius 22. Oops. Half light 44. Here's to ignore self. Start at where I put that one. And we'll also end there. We just want the stuff that is within that space. Hit properties and fix it, return value. There's it. Also, all right. Let's break the hit stuff. There we go. and then we'll do something really. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we'll start with that, and we'll also let's. Don't have a knickknack. I don't have a knickknack to put in here. Can I make a knickknack? Should I get a knickknack? I have knickknacks. I have knickknacks. I just pictured this. I have all the knickknacks you could think of. I remember. Fab. That's right, fab. It will overload. Thank you. If you're using Linux, yeah, you can click on this and it'll work. Congratulations. I want to add all the treasures. I just want to add one treasure. What a pain in the ass. Let's add. I know if I plus this, it's going to be like 3 gigs of random ass stuff. You know what? Maybe we'll just make a. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. All right. What we'll do instead is we will make knickknack. We'll go to its mesh. We'll say the static mesh for knickknack. Nothing. Why is it missing? Hey, I thought I knew how this thing worked. Hold on. That's a skeletal mesh. I don't have any static meshes. I only have skeletal meshes. I do need to drag something in from Fab, don't I? All right, give me a second. Did I leave it open? No, I wasn't that smart. You think we could find something like super like fast, like oh, here we go. Why don't we see if we got a knickknack. Is there a knickknack section? What are the tools and decor section? Let's sort by rating. What's the best knickknack? Halloween. Oh my god, how's that the best knickknack? It's all like messed up after they like moved the Fab, right? All these things that had like 5,000 stars are all gone, and then like number one thing on Fab Store for like tools, objects, and decor has 6 votes on it. Christmas room, horror busts, shipping containers, books. $15 a book. Oh yeah, I'm just here for like more filters. Price free. There we go. Old West props. Yeah. It's actually interesting that like the heritage service in Korea is putting like heritage sites and stuff on Unreal Fab. It's fantastic. Every heritage society should be doing this. Anyway, let's see, low poly bird's nest. Pretty. This is a little bit too political right now. Let's see. One simple decoration statue collection. What's in here? Is it more than 5? Oh my god, those are ugly, eh? What's this? It's like a Okay, I mean they're not ugly, but they are ugly. There's nothing that I would put in my house. Would an English when somebody stuck in an episode of Poirot put this in their house? Maybe not that one. Oh, not that one. Okay, I'm not downloading all those to like add one thing. I've gone on a small tangent. I'm so sorry. Fully functional dice. Fully functional. RPG crystals in particular shape. Particular shape. Problem is I don't want to get a lot of things. 259, 4.7. I'll take it. Barrels and shit. Crates. I want to bring something in that might be used. You know what I mean? Interior furniture, Old West. A whole table. Old West is so grungy compared to like I'm trying to do. Right? Maybe I'm just being like too picky. Maybe I'm the problem. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm the problem. Film lighting. An armchair. Bit. Armchair collection. And if I ever get over 100K revenue, I'll pay them $6. I can do that. Yeah, that seems fair. Alright, and then let's get some armchairs in there. I'd even look to see if it's a 455. I would laugh so hard if I found like the one set of armchairs that aren't compatible with engine 5.5. All right. So this is not an endorsement by me of of armchairs. I've lost there it is. Do I have armchairs now? I do. How about a nice ooh. All right, so we have a chair. I'm gonna compile. I'm just gonna save. And then we're going to go into our basic map. That is not so basic because I've put around trying to like make it interesting. And we're gonna drop our knickknack right there, I think. What do you think? Grab that. Knickknack. Boom. Save. Run. Okay, so it's in front of me. Knickknack, knickknack, knickknack. Okay, we got that. So it comes into here, and we read which hand it is. So we said interact. So we look in here. We got the display name, right? Let's make this do something more. We know you can hit. We got the it says it's there. It's a knickknack. Break hit results. I'm gonna say hasn't fit. That components interface. Object implement interface. Interact. So I'd love to add this into my like search somehow. Visibility. Not interested right now. All right. I'm making a statement over here. If we did find a thing, and it implements interactable, then you notice me not doing any casts yet. Sending a message. Got the hand. And hand. The guest is stuff. And the target is just going to assume it's itself. Compile. Go on a knickknack. Hello, I'm a knickknack. I want to be a little bit more than this. We're going to say, I'm going to copy that thing from before where we had, set. Well, I guess we can set it. We're going to do a pen. I'm going to say, that's 100%, not what I should do. Space. We did this before, remember? Put struct in and x. Y. See. Run. On over here this time. Here's that chair. Remember this chair? Remember this chair? Hello, I'm a knickknack. 1. Hello, I'm a knickknack with the other hand. No casts, no nothing. That's great. So we've already. So if you're wondering like how to start your journey into interactable objects, there we just did it. Once you get it as an interface, it's super easy. Then all you have to do is implement this on any object you want to have that wants to interact, and then you put what you want to do with it here. So, what am I going to do with it? Well, let's go back over here. So, this is a knickknack. I'll probably want to pick it up. And then maybe drop it. I don't feel like doing that tonight. I'll tell you what I will do. Let's make another one. Make another one in here. We're going to call it a blueprint prep class. We're going to make it an actor component. I believe I can scene component, the scene transform commits other scene component, actor component, an actor component. Dear God, what have I done? Here we go. An interactable component. And what am I going to do with it? I'm going to implement interactable. Okay. File save. I'm going to do that. I think I can do that. All right, that's part one. Then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to make a new blueprint class, another one, another actor. All right, and then we're going to add our static mesh. We're going to make this another lovely chair. What do we have this time? How about this pink one? Oh, perfect. We're going to make it the scene root. We don't need much else. As a child of this, I'm going to put in interactable component. Then what I'm going to do, add a function override. Oh, I can't do it here. Oh, maybe I have to compile. Give me a second. Compile. Do it now. I was hoping. Oh, wait. Class. No, wait, that's correct. Okay, sorry. We're gonna have this inside of this. Add to this another. And this is gonna be a different chair altogether. Just hear me out here. It's gonna be a different, smaller chair. Actually, I'll just lock these. It's going to be 0.25. Little tiny chair. Going to be on this chair, like this. Go up. You can see a chair on top of a tiny chair. This. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. I add this onto this. No, static mesh. We might have to do something different for this. What else can I add onto this? Can I add on here? Plane. Okay. Add point light. Yeah, I can do that. Can I a platform? Oh, that goes down there. All right, I understand. Yeah. Don't need the plane. Don't need the point light. Nice, but whatever. Compile. Close that. Delete. It's just memory references. Don't worry about it. Actor component, scene component. This scene component. I think it's, let's try it as a scene component. interactable component here. We'll do this again. File. Here we'll add. There we go. File. Onto this. Can I? Let's see if I can. Okay. Can I 19 overrideable? Does that look like 19? I think it does. Nope. All right. What I need to do is make this. Maybe I just have to make it an actor. Is that it? But do I have to make it an actor in? Oh, that makes sense. All right. Here's my idea. Got this, right? Then onto here, I add. Seriously? I not add. Okay, I know I need to. I'm gonna close this so I can rename it. So I'm gonna make a component. I'm gonna make it called key small key honk chair. Yeah, I know. Just give me a second. We have interact. We're going to honk. There we go. Very, very complex. Our interactable chair, we're gonna do like we did before. Interactable chair is busted somehow. Come back to that. There we go. And then we got our viewport. Okay. And I managed to close my components. There we go. Add new static mesh. Nope. We're going to add our VP honk chair to this. Here. VP honk chair. Oh. VP honk chair needs to have its own like look, right? So what I'm trying to do, if you're wondering why I'm like flailing, I want to put a thing as part of the interactable chair that has the interface for interacting, but isn't the chair. Does that make sense? So essentially you would interact with this thing, the honk chair. Yeah, this doesn't happen. And then that would appear in here. I once again think I've used the wrong thing. Delete that again. Yes, replace the references with nothing, force delete. And then save. So how do we do that? We know that we can add things like skeletal meshes, right? Capsule components. They're in C++. I don't get to like fart around with that. What's their parent class? Yeah, it's all C++ classes, so I don't know if there's a parent class I can like use as a thing that goes in here. I'll have to look that up later, actually. Why don't I do the other thing then? Okay, we can pick up a thing, we can interact with it. Let's see if we can pick up a thing. It'll be funny because we haven't written how to drop a thing, so you'll never be able to drop it. I'm gonna delete this guy for now. We'll come back to that. I managed to do something this terrible, but I did it. All right. Hello, I'm a knickknack. So we have hand X and hand Y. We put those. Let's print string back here. All right. Why don't we do on the class defaults? Replicates. Physics with the next square. Collision. Replication mode. Whatever. Tick. Mesh. Mesh. Simulate physics. Replicate physics. Gravity. We'll look at that for now. File. Okay. Don't get character. This character has a skeleton mesh, which we've stolen from the control rig for now. This isn't specifically the one, but they have the same skeleton except for like the ones that we've added just a couple of things like the screen head and extra texture. They're the same otherwise. I'm gonna go look for and root and gun. key hand, second hand, left hand, right hand. Thumb and L. There's a bone. Is there a or do I do it in here? This character. Right. That's right. Socket. And I have the socket in here. No. Where do I add socket? In the skeleton? Make sure we get the right one. Skeleton tree. Skeleton. Hey, here's some sockets. Phone name? No. Socket manager. Do I have a socket manager? I don't see a socket manager, man. What's he talking about? Maybe it's like stack mesh. For a stack mesh. I don't want a stack mesh. I want skeletal mesh. There we go. I right click and add sockets. Idiot. I'm really just like an absolute dumbass. Let's see. We'll add it to left hand, the left hand, right hand for the right. Or should I add it down here? Who knows? Let's go down here. Upper arm twist, neck, upper arm, ring, wrist, weapon R. Weapon R, is that a socket? What is it? And R socket. I don't know it. And R socket. And then and L socket. Okay. Get attached socket name. Get all socket names. Get socket location. the hell I call it. And L socket. Sure. Maybe it'll like crash the system. Let's find out. It's gone. Certainly is not in my hand. I can tell. Interesting. Yeah, well idea. All right. It was close. It was close. Let's. Like exploded and I got a false off it. Let's find out. True. Below I'm in that. And then it exploded. No, right. I mean that kind of, I guess. Do what I want to do. I don't know. I don't see like don't see a chair on my wait. Oh, there it goes. Oh my god. Wait, it seems to be somehow attached to me. Uh, I think I have to turn off. I have to turn some shit off. Right? I have to make it not be crazy physics. Otherwise, it's going to be crazy physics time. So before I do that, I want to mesh dot simulate physics. And then I set, hold on, set collision preset, maybe? Ooh, set disable collision. That doesn't help. I need to, set collision profile name. And then the collision profiles we have are physics actor, local to interact. Thank you. Make no. Maybe it's better off in here. Um, drop physics profile string. It's a compile. And then grabbed physics profile. Also a string. Also compiled. So what we'll do is physics actor. And then when we grab it, it's not going to be physics actor anymore because then it goes ape shit. We'll just call it ignore only pawn. And then so when we grab it, we're going to oh, great. All right, I'll change it to a name then. I actually used it for once, so now it's gotta like change everything. Yeah, I know, it's right here. If I'm lucky, it still has Y typed in there, right? Right? Great. Compile. All right, so we've got grab physics profile, which is ignore only pawn. All right. I know this has been unhinged. So I think I can. Oh, it needs to still survive. Hold on. I set it to ignore only pawn, so if you look at the word ignore only pawn, and that made it not exist in this world. So I have to set it to physics app. So this is what it is like 99.99% of the time. It's on this. So just be there. Turn over here and click. Falls through the floor, but it's not attaching. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, because I have to actually connect to this. Boom. Let's see what happens. Oh, oh. In the box, you can tell. What the fuck? In the box, you can tell things are happening. Where's the chair gone? Where is the chair gone? It's there. It's going ape shit. I don't know where it's gone. We saw it. You see it? And it dropped to the floor. So it's not attaching. So it's not attaching onto this socket like I want it to. It just disappears, right? Location, rotation. Rotation will keep relative. That's not going to help, but is it falling before I can attach? I attach, then set collision profile? Attach component to component, or maybe this socket isn't being socketed right. Handle socket, is that what we called it? Handle socket. And underscore L socket. What am I doing wrong? Pretty sure that's what we did, right? We got that. All right. He's having the opposite problem. Not quite what I need, but let's see if we got another thing we can use. And because I'm paranoid, I'm just gonna say, oh, actually, and we'll snap the target. Match actor to actor. That can do what I want. Maybe, maybe not. Only one way to find out. Disappeared from the box. It might be somewhere. It fell through the floor. Maybe if I went up the stairs, find it again. I really don't know what's going on there. You can see from the box, the debug box from debug screen shows that I've magically become really big, which I assume is something to do with our chair suddenly become no, I'm actually really big as it is. Not related to it. All right. That's probably related to Gravity Collector, which I don't use anywhere, do I? I don't use it anywhere. I did use it somewhere. I used it here. That's okay. Oh, hold on. Um, right vector, word direction, move input, get forward vector. Sorry, I'm just going and grab this guy here. I love how there's a copy right click, but not a. I'm just making it like a little bit more forward. Control location, word vector. This does make the weird thing where I have to actually be walking towards it. Oh, I broke my own code. Oh. Okay. I want to add the Gravity component back in. My fault for trying to be clever. And then what's this? 90? Radius 40. 90 and 40. Don't like it. That's fine. Then we've got X. Radius there. Yeah. So half height. Back there. File. Fix my own stupid. All right. We're gonna walk up here. Oh, did you see the chair fly off and take the distance? See, it was over there. It was over there. Did you see it? Did you see it? And it fell into the ground. So, 818. Okay. Thing I hate is that like I literally like knew how to do this like a year ago. See, look at this one. He's got attached to. When did this get? 2016, so it's probably they don't have that. Target Steam component. I remember doing this. This is 2 years ago. It's probably yeah. Let's see. He's doing the same thing I am. I swear that's what I did, but not. Twenty-one. Is that it? Right? Is it super specific like that? Do I have to attach? The component being mesh. I honestly don't know what it's gonna be because honestly it looked the same to me. As expected, it just kind of fucking disappeared. All right. Yeah, that's really frustrating. Everything that everybody's talking about is from like 5 years ago, and everybody's problems are like my button click doesn't fucking work. Okay, so we've done that. So the root of this is the mesh. So that I don't know. I don't know. Gone. I'm totally lost because I seem to be doing the same thing as everyone else. Just grab the physics off. Um, this a little bit to um, disappear. Very strange. Yeah. I'm gonna have to come back to this, but that's the right thing. We have an um, interactable interface. Let's, before we leave, make those other two interfaces. I'll show you how that works because I did before. It's actually not that hard. I mean, it should be pretty obvious looking at that one. You can just scroll down and it'll say Unreal Interface. Then you can type in and this is going to be what? Droppable? And you can see it spinning around there. It tiles it thing. Won't be able to drop anything because I can't get picking up to work, but I'll get it working by next week. I had this working like 3 years ago. There was a pandemic on, so I probably got COVID brain and forgot how to do it. Just picking something up and attaching it to there shouldn't be that hard. I don't remember it being this hard.
But once we're able to pick something up, we can say, oh, if this is droppable, we can also drop it. And if this is usable, we can also use it. So I'm going to make the knick-knack something I can pick up, but I won't be able to use it because it's a knick-knack. It doesn't do anything. And then we'll be able to do that in the world. And maybe I'll import a better thing than an armchair to pick up. And I'll make the armchair some sort of thing you can sit down in. That sounds like a great kind of thing. So there's our jingle. You can see there's a droppable. Click on it. You can see here's our droppable interface. So one thing here, I'm going to do the same thing as interact. Only it's going to be dropped. And so keep in mind, this is very important that when it's in your hand, like drop it, just let go. There's no actual functionality that you actually need in here unless you have something fancy. Now, I think for most things in this game, I might have like a fancy thing that happens when you drop. Like if you drop your drink, you're going to spill your drink. Like it's not like magically the cup drops on the ground, you go pick it up again. Dummy, right? You spilled your drink. So this is a function that will happen when I spill the drink. Save. I'm going to keep the category interactable because that's kind of like the category of these things I'm interacting with. Compile it again. It annoyingly takes two. All I did was add one line that looked identical to another line. Oh, wait, but it doesn't work because I already fucked it up because I don't import the character or the vector. So it's doing its thing, but we both know it's not going to work. I clear that. I cancel this. I don't think that cancels. While we're here, before it goes again, I'm going to add another class. It opens in a new window I can't see. Perfect in every way. Oh, this window is fucked. There we go. And we're going to call this usable. Oh my god. Oh my god, what's happening on my computer? Usable. And I'll see if it compiles. So this will give us the ability to click on something in the world that's interactive, that's interacting. We can use the thing, which is doing something with the thing that we've already picked up, if part of the interaction is picking it up. And then dropping it is not that we can drop it, because well, maybe we can't drop, I don't know. But if there's anything special that happens when you drop it, such as it's a drink and now you've spilled it because you dropped it. So some may argue maybe if you drop it close enough to the surface and hits upright, it might be okay. We'll see what happens. It might be that the droppable is just like, can you drop it? Has the interface good enough? And we don't really do anything with it. It just kind of sits empty in most actors. Give me the good thing. Give me the good thing. It's compiling. Uh-oh. Come on. Compile complete. Look at that. Look at that. Compile complete. All right. Yeah, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. And then we'll do the same thing here. We're going to add copy. Paste. Use. Save. Compile. I am 900% sure that will work. I don't know what's still unsaved. Click it and I'll save later. What's the map? Of course. We can do both at once. I hope that, so like if you don't know computing, I hope you learned what an interface is. If you do know computing and interfaces, I hope you've noticed how easy it is to take that, and there's no cast or anything. It just kind of works. You say, is it this interface? You don't even have to ask if it's the interface, to be honest. You can just like call. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is all like locked up, waiting for this thing to say yes. Okay, it's spinning again. All right. So like I have said, does it interface implement it? You actually have to check. You can just ask for interact. I don't know what happens if you don't do that. You want to try it? Let's try it. Let's just go straight to the source. We'll say if we got one, then do it. Let's skip it. Let's skip it. Oh, thanks. Right after. I didn't even get this fucking close the. I didn't even get to do the thing. Well, now's a good time to stop because that was just an example. But you can see how like using the interface is great. You can make an interface through like a blueprints only interface. I feel like it's kind of like a trap because if you put it as a blueprint native event here, you can override it in blueprints and in C++ because it's a C++ class. You can use it like as an interface to C++ as well. You just have to override this and it works fine. All right, so since that's crashed, why don't we call it a day? And I will get the pickup working by next week. And have a good one.